Hey, got Stacy with me.
Shalom, shalom. Is this another pillow talk?
Oh, we didn't been. Some of us done been out of the bed this morning, so I guess this don't count as a pillow talk.
Okay.
Even though I'm still laying on the pillow and you joining me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, guess what when we talk about
I'm trying to see the topic.
abortion.
Oh my goodness.
We're looking over here on news.gallup.com. The name of this website, I believe, is Abortion Trends by Party Identification.
That's my political party?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how, like the Republican Party will claim that the Democrats are abortion. They're all in favor of abortion, and they claim to be the pro-life party, and they claim that the Democratic Party is the pro-death party, or not pro-death, but pro-abortion party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is kind of bad because you're a Democrat, ain't
I have some of the same beliefs as the Democrats, but I also have some of the same beliefs
you?
as the
What does
Republicans.
your voter registration form say?
It says Democrat, but
You're
that
a
could easily be.
Democrat.
I am not a Democrat. I'm not going to claim Democrat.
How your voter registration? You 50 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and has any time in your 50 years old has your voter registration said anything other than Democrat?
It has not, but that does not mean that you
In your
cannot
50 years
change.
old, have you ever voted for anybody other than a Democrat?
In my 50 years old, in my 50 years that I have been,
Have you? And the question is, have you ever voted for anybody other than a Democrat?
no, but there has to be a but with this question. You just can't.
Ain't no but.
There has to be a but because
Yeah,
in
people
the
gotta be.
previous times that I voted, I was not keeping the laws and I did not know some of the things that I know now. So would I change my party affiliation, quote quote? Yeah, I would.
To what? Republican?
No,
You
I
a
would not.
Republican now?
No, I would not change it to Republican. No, I would not change it to Independent. I don't know what I would change it
Ain't
to.
no
I
other
would.
thing.
I don't know. I do
You,
not know.
you are a people need to be proud of who they are. People,
Okay, what are you then?
I'm an independent.
Okay, so you're proud of that.
I'm proud of being an independent. I'm proud of who I am. When I was a Democrat, I would if I was still a Democrat, if my voter registration still said Democrat, I'd be proud to be a Democrat. I ain't say to myself.
Okay, so what if people labeled you as a socialist? You would be okay with that?
It ain't labeling it. If I was a socialist, I would be proud of being a socialist. I'm proud
Well,
of who I am. Look, people, if you're not going to be proud of who you are, you shouldn't make those decisions. You should make decisions that you could be proud of. If I was going to make the decision to be a socialist, after I did so, I would be proud of being a socialist. I stand up to be if I'm gonna make that decision. My people make piss poor decisions, and then when somebody call them out on them, now they want to act like they're ashamed of it. Why not make good decisions?
because you made a decision at that time uh, for certain reasons. Now people grow and they can make different decisions. Y'all leave it in the comments about what do y'all think about that. Do
Yeah.
y'all think that you have a right to choose or change your party affiliation?
You
Okay,
can
so let's
change
go
it.
to the
I changed
topic.
mine. I changed mine to independent, and I have voted for independent. I voted for Ross Perot.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
I actually like the Ross Perot. You know. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Let's go on to the topic. What were we talking
All
about?
right, so here it's talking about this is the Gallup poll, and let me read this first part. I ain't gonna read all of this website, but it said Washington D.C. The following graphs display Gallup's full trend on U.S. views about abortion by party identification.
Okay.
Okay, because we're addressing the reason why we're doing this is because people always try to say that the Democrats are pro-abortion,
Mm-hmm.
and both of us at one point were Democrats, and
Mm-hmm.
so we tend to take a little bit of offense on that.
Yeah.
So
Very much so.
and so we're looking here at the Gallup poll,
Mm-hmm.
and we're looking to see, okay, what does the whole world say about this?
Okay. What do they say?
All right, let's jump down to the polls. All right, this is the first one. It's It's a Republican views on legality of abortion from 1975 to 2020.
Okay.
The question is, do you think abortion should be legal under any circumstances? Legal only under certain circumstances? Or illegal under all circumstances?
Okay.
So there's your things. The light green is going to be legal under all circumstances. The dark green is the percentage of people, Republicans, who say that this should be legal only under certain circumstances. And the gray is going to be illegal under all circumstances.
So you want to hear my answer first, or do you want?
Go ahead.
Should
We
I
can
hear
hear you.
your answer
We can hear you.
first?
Go ahead. We can hear your answer. Go ahead.
Okay, because I have a lot to say about it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so well, I don't have a lot, but I have a few things to say
So, are
about
you
it.
speaking from a Democrat?
I'm going to, for you, for your sake, I'm going to speak as a Democrat.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, um, like I said, a lot of things for me have changed because back when my last time I voted, was not keeping the law. Neither did I know I was supposed to. Okay, so my first thing is to say that I think abortion, which is um, and I don't want to say, should we look up the word?
No, it's killing babies.
Oh my goodness. So
Go
I
ahead.
want to say that killing babies is wrong. That is wrong. I think we will all agree with that. And I believe that the father is displeased with that. So being that he is displeased with it, that automatically tells me that it's wrong. Okay. So that's one. That's number one. Number two, I go back to the scripture where it talks about how when you walk up on a bird's nest, and I don't know, it's just immediately popped in my head. Do you kill? And there's a mother and a baby bird in there. Which life do you take? Do you take the mother's life or do you take the baby bird's life?
To eat.
To eat, yeah. So the scripture, I believe, says you take the baby bird's life, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And I think it says that because the mother can further have kids and continue to produce.
Yeah. So it's like eating the eggs opposed to eating the chicken.
Right. And then that's number two. Okay. And number three, my mind goes back to the covenant where the father says if a man and another man is fighting and the mother is injured and this mother is the
Loses the
child
baby. Yeah.
loses if she loses the baby, then you're supposed to kill. I mean, that man's supposed to be stoned and killed. But if the mother is not harmed, he can just make compensation for that. So that's number three, right? So that's telling me that the baby is just as important. Okay.
Well, we actually probably need to look at that first, but keep going.
Okay, and then uh, I'm put number four. I want to say, is it a choice? Do I think that the mother should have the right? Should she have the choice to make this decision if she wants to keep this child or not? And my mind goes back to saying the father gives us that gift of free will. So he has given us the ability to make that choice. No matter what the consequences are, he still gives us the ability. So am I wrong for saying no, she can't have that choice, and yet the father gives her that choice? So I don't know. I don't know. I think, my mind tells me it's wrong. The father is displeased with it. Therefore, I have to say that I do not agree with the mother making the choice to um, abort the child.
Okay. All right. So if you didn't catch it, I've put the verse that Stacy was referencing there on the screen. You can read it, back up the video. You can read it. What was it? Talking about the woman losing her baby as the result of two men fighting, like if they knocked her over or something like that. That's in Exodus chapter 21.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to come back over to the poll because the poll is talking about the affiliation by Democrats. And we ain't really got to the Democrats yet. We're looking first at the Republicans. So let's see right here what the Republicans have to say about abortion. This, like I said, it starts off in 1975, and this poll was taken in 2020 as well. We said the dark green should be legal under certain circumstances. 59% of the Republicans say abortion should be legal under certain circumstances.
Really, I'm surprised to hear that.
Yep. 27% says that it should be illegal under all circumstances. That's even if you got an alien growing in there, you shouldn't be able to abort the baby.
I'm surprised to hear that as well. I thought it would be more.
And only 13% says that it should be legal at all times. And that's probably a little higher than you thought it would be. 13% of Republicans say that abortion should be legal all the time.
Yeah, that is higher than I thought.
You know, at one point it was up to about 26% in about 1992. 26% thought it should be legal at all times, while in 1992, 51% thought that it should only be legal under certain circumstances.
I thought it would be like, like 80% at least say that it should be illegal at all times.
Yeah, because that's the way they act.
Yeah.
That's the way they act, like,
Yeah, that's the way the media portrays them.
That's definitely the way the media portrays, the way they portray themselves, as if, they are the pro-life party.
Pro-life police.
Pro-life police, and nobody in the Republican Party would dare think of such a thing as, having agreeing with abortion rights.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to remember that's what this is about, abortion rights, not actually committing abortion, which is saying a woman should have a choice. So about, I don't know, 13% says she just should have a flat out choice anytime she want to choice if she don't, if any circumstances whatsoever. And then 59% saying only under certain circumstances. 59%. So let's remember that number. As we drop down and look at the next one, these are the political independent views on legality of abortion. And this would be me. I'm independent.
Okay.
I don't like nobody.
Or care about anything else. It doesn't matter. When I think of independent, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I can go either side. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, y'all can't make a decision.
Yeah, in 2016 was the first time I didn't vote, and because I ain't like neither one of them. I ain't like nobody in the race.
Who was in the race?
It was Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
Okay, let's see what the independents say.
The independents, all right, we're going to come all the way over here to 2020. 50% of the independents say that abortion should be legal under circumstances. It should have some circumstances.
It would be 50.
50-50, yeah, because, one time I was asked in college, my teacher put me on the spot. My professor put me on the spot in the class, being, here in Alabama. I was probably the only Democrat at the time in the whole class. I was definitely the only black person in the class. And
I don't know about that.
yeah, and they put me on the spot of whether I was pro-life or pro-abortion, and I told them straight up, I ain't pro nothing. It ain't my business what they do. What the heck, what I got to do with that? He was talking about, if it was your sister, if it was your daughter that was doing this, and if it was doing that. Yeah, if it was my daughter, it's my responsibility to step in and tell her, not to do that. That's what a parent's supposed to do. Right. But if it's my neighbor, well, I'm gonna go over there and tell my neighbor what to do with her stuff.
Or a stranger on the street.
Or a stranger on the street. Get your ass what you do.
You gotta delete that. Can you say that word?
Hold on. Y'all forgive me. But anyway. All right. So we're talking about the independents. And it says 26% of the independents say it should be legal under any circumstances, any reason why you want to. So the difference between an independent and the Republican is 26 to 13.
Yeah.
And as far as the being illegal at all times, it's 27% Republican and 23% independent say it should be legal at all times. But
Hmm.
let's jump down here to the Democrats, which are supposed to be the so-called abortion party, they call them. What do they call them? The pro-abortion party? I don't think anybody's actually pro-abortion.
Well,
It's
they may make
pro-choice.
the Democrat Party seems as if they're very favorable of it. That they have no problems with a woman having an abortion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's look at what the thing says. Okay. Well, first of all, we notice that at one point back there in about 1997, there was a big change. 1997, 1998, where 60% of the people who claim to be Democrats said that only abortion should be only uh, legal under certain circumstances, which is higher than the current Republican Party at 59%.
Mm-hmm.
And 28% back then said it should be legal at all times. But if you look at how the trend goes, the ones who say that it should be legal at all times in 2020 has risen to 50%, 49%.
So now there's 50% of the people say that it should be legal at all times.
49% of Democrats say it should be legal at all times. 42% says that it should have circumstances.
Hmm.
But you compare that to the Republican Party up there. Let's see, I think that's the independents. Excuse me, because my little widget is messing up here. But remember these numbers 59 of, wait a minute. Yeah, 59% of Republicans say that it should be legal with circumstances. And as far as the Democrats go, it's 42, 59 to 42.
Almost the same.
Almost the same. Yeah, pretty close. With saying that it should be, that abortion should be legal under circumstances. And those circumstances, I don't know all of the circumstances, but they consider stuff like whether the baby is sick,
The mother's life is in
whether the
danger.
mother's life is in danger, whether the this it was a
Rape or
person that, yeah,
molestation.
raped or molestation or something like that,
Excuse me.
you know, or something, you know, but that's pretty close. But then when it comes to being legal at all times, it's 49% for the Democrats, and for the Republicans, it's 13%, 49 to 13.
So 49% of Democrats say that it should be legal at all
It
times.
should be legal at all times.
Legal or illegal?
Legal at all times. And 13% says it should, and 13% of the Republicans say it should be legal at all times. That ain't too big of a difference.
That is a big difference. 13 and 49%. That is a big difference.
Okay, where's that
That's a
original?
huge difference.
All right, what about this one? 27% of the Republicans say it should be illegal all the time. You should never be able to have an abortion under any circumstances whatsoever. 27% for the Republicans. And then you come down, again, that was 23% for the independents. And you come down to the Democrats, it's 8%.
That's why they're doing that. I mean, because you got that 49% and that 8%. That's a, I mean, 20, what did you say, 29, 27 to 8. That's not as big a difference, but that's still a huge difference.
Yeah, but is that enough to claim that they are
Yeah.
the
No,
pro-abortion party?
no,
That they're the
that's not
baby
enough.
killers?
No,
Is
no,
that good
no,
enough to say,
no,
is that something you could say, okay, you voted Democrat, so you are a baby killer?
no. That's definitely not, because it's too close to label them, the Democrats, as that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of foul, but the Republicans. I believe that the Republicans, and let's just we're being honest, that it's more of the Caucasian race of people that are Republicans. Um, for some reason that they have labeled themselves, or I don't know how to say this, and I definitely don't want to offend anybody, because that's not what I'm trying to do, as more God fearing than any other race.
And
So
evangelicals, they're more religious, is
yeah,
what
they're
it
more
boils down
religious,
to.
and therefore they do what they they want to say, that pleases God more so than anybody else. But
But the thing about it, you think about the Democrats that you know, are they God fearing?
of course,
You talking about your
the
mama,
best
your
of their
grandmama,
ability,
your
from the
sister,
information
your
that they
brother,
have.
your
Yeah,
husband, your kids, they're all Democrats.
yeah,
You might have a few aunts and uncles and cousins that may be Republicans, but almost, I would guess, probably 90% of the people you know are Democrats.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
what percentage of that would you say are God-fearing people?
'89.
Yeah, I would say about 89% of them. I mean, even. All right,
Yeah.
here's another one. But before we get into this one, one thing I was thinking about is how the whole abortion thing has become a political football. And
Yeah.
everybody knows that.
Mhm.
Everybody knows that it's really a political thing. The Republican Party back there in, the not so distant past declared themselves as the pro-life party, and they started using it in the political rallies or whatever to stir up the Republicans to vote for the Republicans, just so they could say they were voting for somebody that was pro-life, automatically labeling the Democrats as pro-abortion, not
Mhm.
pro-choice. And that's a big difference between being pro. If you come up and you ask somebody, even that sent to say it should be legal at all times, if you come up to them and say, are you pro-abortion, they're gonna take offense to that.
Right.
you
That's a
know
big difference.
that's like being out in the street saying that, I see you pregnant, why don't we go down here and have a talk about whether you should have an abortion or not. That's what pro-abortion means, right?
Mhm.
you know
Yeah.
but anyway, so but the point that I wanted to make that people don't know about is that the president of the United States can actually change the abortion laws by executive order, meaning that George Bush or Donald Trump, even right now today, before Donald Trump left office, if he wanted to, he could sign a piece of paper and get rid of abortion. Even right now, as a lame duck president, he has the executive power to get rid of abortion with the swipe of a pen. No Congress, no Senate, no House of Representatives, no voting, no nothing. Give me a piece of paper, I'm about to sign it, and all of a sudden, all of the abortion clinics are about to be closed right now.
Mhm.
Abortion is over.
Yeah.
So while they got this, they're kicking around this political football and having all of these rallies, pro-abortion this and pro-abortion that, pro-life this and pro-life. If they was truly a pro, if they was truly pro-life, as soon as they got in office, that'd be the first thing that they did was sign a piece of paper, sign that executive order to get rid of abortion.
That's true.
So they're just proving that it's just a political football just to get people voting for them. Even if some people vote some people vote for the pro-life, the quote pro-life party, despite any and everything else that's going on. The guy could be doing anything, and they'll say the reason why I'm voting for him is because he's pro-life. Okay, well if he was really pro-life, why do we still have abortion?
That's true.
He could have signed it away.
If that's what his agenda was.
If that's what his true agenda was, if he really wanted to do it, he could have been and did it.
Mhm.
First day in office, he could have did it. But anyway, let's look at this poll right here. This one it says Republicans self-identify on abortion, and then when you read it, the question is, with respect to the abortion issue, would you consider yourself to be pro-choice or pro-life? So you as a Democrat,
Mhm.
me as an independent, would you call yourself pro-choice or pro-life?
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm gonna have to just choose, and I know it might not be popular as a Democrat, but I'm gonna say pro-life.
So you're gonna go with the pro-life. Me as an independent, like I told my teacher, I ain't pro nothing. I ain't on neither side. It ain't my business. If it's my daughter, if it's my wife, if it's my relative, if somebody came up out of the blue and said, "What should I do?" Keep the baby. Even if they said something like, "I can't afford the baby," blah 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 blah. Get a baby to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the baby until we can figure out something else to do. Just don't kill the baby.
Right.
But
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
the random person out there in the street, what
Hmm.
I'm saying, that's between her and her child and her father and her God and all of that. That's her business. You know what I
I
mean?
know that. I know it's her business, but sometimes people need. Uh,
Well, let me ask you this: Are you pro Sabbath day?
yes.
Are you gonna be out there in the street telling people they need to be keeping the Sabbath day?
No.
No, so you ain't really pro Sabbath day, is you? You mind your own self
That's true.
business when it
That's true.
comes to Sabbath day. You
Yeah,
do
you're right.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
You pro pork eater?
No, I'm not.
No, but you ain't gonna find yourself out in the street telling nobody what they eat. You ain't gonna be down there at the
Okay.
restaurant protesting against, ham sandwiches or whatever.
All right, I understand. I think even the Bible even speaks about us standing on the street corner. What is the Third Testament, maybe?
All right, so let's look at the thing. So you have the light green, which is the pro-choice, and the dark green, which is
Pro
the
life.
pro-life. Back in before they started this whole, or right when they were starting this political football, you'll see that it was 51% who claimed to be pro-life and 42% that claimed to be pro-choice.
Okay.
This is the Republicans that we're
Yeah.
talking about. In
Yeah.
19, that's a big deal. 1996, 51% were only 51% were pro-life. Now it's 68% to
Yeah.
29%.
Hmm. I would
Six,
have thought it was more.
you would have thought it was more. You'd have thought it was higher.
Yeah.
You'd have thought it's the Republican Party.
Yeah.
They're the pro-life party. You'd have thought it'd been like more like 98%
Yeah. Hmm.
and said that they were pro-life.
Yeah. Definitely up in age.
All right, so now let's jump down to who's next. We have the independents. You couldn't leave them out. And you see the independents right there at 48 and 48.
Yeah. They can't make a decision
We
again.
don't make decisions like that. It ain't our business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then let's jump down to the Democrats. And
Mm.
the Democrats, 72% claim to be pro-choice and 24 claim to be pro-life. Right?
Yeah. I guess I'm not surprised by that. I am surprised by the Republican numbers, but
A whole lot lower
they're
than
definitely a lot lower than I thought.
they ain't
Yeah.
as pro-life as they think they are.
They're not as pro life as the media is making them
But the thing
out to
about it,
be.
the Democrats are not as pro-choice as the Republicans would want them to be. Again, can you look at these numbers and say that the Democrats are the pro-abortion people?
No, I would not say that. I think that they might be labeled the pro choice. Like you said, everybody has a choice. And I think that that's what they've always said. That, is, like you said, it's none of their business.
But they're saying, yeah,
It's supposed, it's, yeah. Like you said, if it's my daughter, if it's my close friend, people I'm associated with, yeah, I would try to encourage them to, have the baby, keep the baby. There's we can do this, but if it's someone else, I have no business hollering across the street at a stranger, um, telling her what to do.
now look at the numbers back there. As they were starting to make this a political football back there in 1996. The numbers were even closer. But you have to think now. Some of these people in who's counted in this number on the Republican side and the Democratic side, in independents or whatever, the people who claim to be pro-choice are also thinking about the reason why there are abortion clinics in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because before abortion was legal, people were involved in illegal abortion,
Yeah.
using poison and clothes hangers and throwing themselves down the steps and all of that kind of stuff to have abortions. And now, so the real choice is, should include giving them the opportunity to, do it in a quote, hand quote, safe way, opposed to, trying to do it themselves.
I'm not gonna go there into that subject.
Okay. Anyway. All right. Anything else before we close this little
Because I
video?
say that because I would think that people wouldn't be so barbaric as to do stuff like that.
Well, you're not thinking about the little 13-year-old, 14-year-old girl who was afraid of what mama gonna say. And you're also not thinking about the boyfriend who can take it upon himself to, push her down the steps or feed her some poison or whatever. And you're not thinking on that level. It would
Yeah.
actually go on. If you got rid of the abortion clinics today, by next week, you're gonna have, girls and women in the emergency room, having harmed themselves from, trying to take care of it themselves.
Yeah, but I do wish all the abortion clinics were gone because I want people to keep their babies. I want the babies to live and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna deter from saying I wish they all go because
You,
I
you
wish
wish
the
all of
world
them was shut down.
I
So you a
wish all
Democrat saying all of them should shut down.
I wish the world was not in that position. I say that.
Okay.
And that's not, I know that's not being realistic. I know that, but I'm just going to sit here in my little fantasy land and say that I wish the world wasn't like that,
Yeah.
where we needed such things.
And then you have to think about what happens to the unwanted babies and all of that kind of stuff. But I personally believe that there's no such thing as an unwanted baby. Somebody will take that baby.
Yeah.
Somebody would love to have that baby.
We'll take that baby.
We'll take that baby.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody watching this video because they were considering having an abortion, definitely our message is don't do it. Somebody will take that baby. Somebody definitely somebody needs, somebody already
Yeah.
right now would love you to, to go ahead and have that baby. They'll meet you at the hospital today.
Yeah, because that baby has a purpose. We
Yeah.
know that from the Third Testament, the Father is going to put a spirit inside of that baby to use it, and it's
For
going to
some
have a
reason, yeah.
mission. Yeah. So
So
let
don't
the
do
baby
it.
live.
That's our
Let the
message.
baby
Don't
live.
don't
Yeah.
don't do it. But for all of them pro-life so-called Republicans, stop calling Democrats pro-abortion
Stop it.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut
Because it's
that
more of
foolishness
y'all
out.
undercover
Yeah,
than
yeah.
we
They
know
answer
about.
this question in a poll, but then when their daughter pop up pregnant by a black man, then what gonna happen?
Oh, don't go there. Let's not go there.
We ain't gonna go there.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. We're about to close it out. Before I go there, if you got something out of this video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. But leave us a comment either way. And
Shalom.
shalom.